Now we head to Milan to consider the future of education and design. Founded in 1982 by the publisher of the lauded design magazine of the same name, Domus Academy is a design school that brings together big-name designers and architects with the next generation of creative minds. But as technology transforms and reconfigures the possibilities of the industry, the Academy is looking to revamp how it teaches design as a discipline. Monocle's Milan correspondent Ivan Carvalho recently caught up with the school's director to learn more.
Gianluigi Ricuperati is creative director at Milan's Domus Academy. Eager to prepare students for a rapidly changing design industry, this spring he founded the Metaphysical Club. It brings together personalities from the world of culture and design to create a salon-style workshop where lecturers debate and engage students and each other to liven up the educational process. Canadian writer Douglas Copeland, London Serpentine Gallery curator Hans Ulrich Obrist, and Spanish designer Patricia Urquiola are a few of the figures involved, and their animated conversations touch on everything from women's wardrobes to how digital data is changing our domestic appliances and the homes we live in. Ricuperati wants to go beyond the nuts and bolts of teaching design to help students anticipate future trends.
The Metaphysical Club was a club that was joined in the late 19th century by great philosophers like William James in Massachusetts University in 1872. So it was an historical club of philosophers, out of which the philosophy of pragmatism came out. It's an homage to that club, and it's an homage to the book that described that triggering of ideas that was like these people simply meeting together and thinking together. And that's exactly adapting it to our time, like conversation, physical meeting. Domus Academy with the Metaphysical Club is going to be different because, first of all, it's the only design school that is run by a writer, so I put a lot of storytellers in the club. So we have critics and design journalists or like art journalists. We have curators. We have illustrators who are also storytellers. We have obviously designers, architects, fashion designers. But most of all, I think we are building a sort of curators guild, because I think that everyone will be a curator, especially designers. We all will be curators in the future.
It's part of the challenge today because technology is changing so quickly that students have to be maybe taught in a different way.
Absolutely. Technology is so mind-blowingly changing our ways of thinking that is also changing the structure of our brain. Well, for example, you have your brain is needing new stimuli every 2 minutes or every 3 minutes. How can this be adapted in classic design workshop structure? We have the classic design workshop structure, plus some other interventions by philosophers, controversial, interesting people, and basically mingling up together the practice with the intellectual activity.
When Domus Academy began, the school was about Italian designers teaching Italian product design. The Metaphysical Club, meanwhile, invites curators, critics, and illustrators, along with architects from around the world. Metaphysical Club member Alice Rawsthorn, a design critic at the New York Times, argues design is more interconnected across geography and disciplines today and needs to expand beyond the visual arts and making of furniture and fashion to find new ideas.
I think it's a way of refining the concept of the visiting lecturer, because the idea is to bring people from outside the school, from a sort of a range of perspectives on design and art, to come in and speak to the students, to share ideas, give them the opportunity to hear hopefully new ideas and fresh thinking or fresh perspectives, and to form a rapport with those people. So obviously all art and design schools have traditionally done that through visiting lecturers who come in and give occasional lectures. I think what's different here is that the visiting lecturers or the members of the Metaphysical Club will actually build a longer-term relationship with Domus Academy, and also that I think the idea will be that by bouncing ideas off each other, as we did yesterday in the talks, that will be of benefit to the students, that rather than coming in as a visiting lecturer, simply giving your lecture, taking questions, so it's quite a sort of singular perspective, it'll be a more dynamic experience because our ideas and thinking will be evolving as a result of talking to fellow members of the club.
You see a need more today for this sort of permanent, ongoing education because in a lot of fields, technology is changing so quickly that people have to go back and sort of revise and get updated more quickly.
Well, design schools are changing dramatically because the concept of design and design practice has changed dramatically. So the more forward-thinking and progressive design schools have all recently introduced courses on social design, for example, humanitarian design, conceptual or critical design, and are encouraging the students to interrogate the discipline in a very different way. So, one approach to that is to encourage the students to be much more versatile, more multidisciplinary, and less trapped in the silos of individual subjects. And that's a process that many design schools all over the world have been experimenting with greater and lesser success for many years. But another huge difference is the introduction of entirely new design disciplines to the courses, which personally I always find very impressive when I go to design schools. I think it is such a dynamic discipline. It is changing at such a rapid pace now. I find it very positive that they evolve so constantly.
That was Monocle's man in Milan, Ivan Carvalho, learning more about the future of design education at the Domus Academy in Italy.